And that question is, how do I protect my black car? It's also very soft. I feel like every time I wash the car, I'm just accumulating scratches. And every time I touch it, just a little bit, I see fingerprints and so on. So, hey guys, it's Anthony from Just Keep It Fresh. Today, I have a black car with me, and the customers actually asked me a question that I really want to discuss today. And that question is, how do I protect my black car? I want that black bolded and underlined, because this color can mean all sorts of things. Some people think it's the best color ever. I personally think black cars are the best color ever, but I've also have become people who don't like black cars as well, because they're also very hard to maintain, and they also show a lot of scratches when you wash the car. And so they're the main reasons why I wanted to do this video today, to allow people, when they're deciding whether they want a black car or another colored car, to not stray away from black cars. Because once you know the points I'm going to make today, and after we finish this video, I think you'll reconsider, if you've never considered a black car, to consider a black car. So the customer of this beautiful Range Rover have asked me, he goes, how do I protect my black car? You know, I've got a black car, it gets dirty really easily. I can always see stuff on my car. Just looking at it right now, it's even got a black-faced wheel, and it's really, really dirty. And it's also very soft. I feel like every time I wash the car, I'm just accumulating scratches. And every time I touch it, just a little bit, I see fingerprints and so on. So how do I maintain, and how do I look after and protect my black car? And so before we answer that question, I think it's very important that we go to the foundation of the color, black. We always take things for granted in this modern age, and we just don't realize the amount of technology that has come through to be able to not even think about the word color, right? So when I talk about the word color, did you know it wasn't only till a few hundred years ago that we realized that the color green was actually poisonous to our body. You know, when people were going to balls with their green dresses and they'll come home and they'll die, that's a big no-no. People used to go through that. And what they've done is, let's reinvent the color of green, because it had properties that would kill people and perhaps become dangerous and super poisonous to people, right? And so every color, what I'm saying is, has their own property, and so does the color black. And the main properties as a detailer that I see when I'm looking at the color black is that, number one, it's very, very reflective. If you study physics, you'll know that the color black reflects the most amount of light, hence the most amount of colors, when you're looking at it from light. So when there's sun above me, when there's light above me, I can see everything, because it reflects the most amount of dirt, grime, and scratches, perhaps fingerprints, on the paintwork. If I were to take this car out off-roading in the mud, you know, and then also take another blue car out off-roading in the mud for the same amount of time, with the same amount of dirtiness, I will still think that the black car is more dirty. And that's because physics tells us, it shows us more than what the blue car can show us as well. So that's the property number one. The second property is that black dyes are quite soft. There's many colors that we have, that we noticed as detailers, have a softer sort of, softer touch to it, which means that it's much more easily scratched. For example, a red car has a softer dye, and a black car has a softer dye. And that's why when you're washing it, if you don't do it properly, what happens is you're gonna scratch it while you're washing it. And that's normal. And that means after you wash it, you're gonna see a lot of scratches that you don't even intend on making. And that's the two main properties that I want to talk about. How do I maintain a black car? Now I'm going to switch that question into, how do I protect a black car? And I'm going to switch that question again into, how do I protect a car that is soft on its color, easily scratched, and also super glossy where I can see everything. So when the customer asked me that, you know, we obviously said, if you have the budget to, you can probably look at getting paint protection film. But the bad thing about paint protection film is that it doesn't feel as good as having black paint, or just the feeling of just normal paint on your car. It doesn't feel as glossy and smooth. So if you want to keep the glossiness and the smoothness of a normal paint like you have, then a ceramic coating would probably be able to do the job. Now we talk about ceramic coating. There's so many different types of ceramic coating on the market. Which one do I choose? Now, a lot of people don't know this. Different ceramic coatings have different functions for a car. Now that we know the foundation of the color black, and we've also known and addressed the issue of what the customer wanted, we're looking at, again, two things that the ceramic coating can help us with. Number one, a long-term solution for glossiness and repellent. So that I want it glossy, but I don't want it to attract as much dust and attract as much contamination. Number two, I want to be able to have something that's on my car and be able to resist soft scratches when I'm washing my car. And that's exactly what we've asked the customer, and that's what he wanted as well. And so we went and we have found the best solution for the customer, which is the infinite dual layer coating with the base coat and the top coat to put on this car. It's raining really heavily, so let me quickly finish this. With the dual layer on top, it means that when they're bonded onto the paint and the second layer bonded onto the first layer of coating, it is going to create a super strong coating that is on the car, which means, number one, it's going to be much resistant to scratches when you're washing the car, but number two, it's going to offer you that super cool gloss that you have on the car, which means you get two of the best of both worlds of, number one, having a super glossy car, like so glossy that when people are walking by, they're like, whoa, that's a really cool black car. And number two, be able to maintain and having that peace of mind that the car's gonna resist scratches, the car's gonna resist, all these contamination, and the car's gonna look really clean and nice as a long-term solution. So before we do anything, let's get this car paint corrected and let's get this car washed and decontaminated, and we'll see what it looks like after the coating's put on. Let's get to it now. All right, guys, so what we've done was hectic because, again, as a detailer, things can just pop up out of nowhere, and that thing was the paintwork of this car. Black paints are, as I said, a lot harder to deal with, and we talked about the two important points of its hardness, which is it's being very soft, and maintaining that gloss. The hardness is super soft on this paint. So while we were actually paint correcting, it's very important that when we're paint correcting the car, that we're not putting as too much pressure onto the paint itself, but also at the same time, we are still cutting a bit of that paint off on the top so that we can get it looking as bright as this. And this is the final results, guys. It's absolutely stunning. Like it's not even almost, I might say 100%, it's mirror finish everywhere. I can see everything. I can see all the reflections. I can see all the lines, the line work on the side of the panels, all the doors. And this is what you get when you look after a black colored car, when you get a ceramic coated. You'll get this kind of, I don't even need to say, I'll just let the result speak for itself. We said again, hardness of the paint being soft, and now it's glossy. Now the customer has a peace of mind that the paint itself is protected with a hard layer of ceramic coating, paint protection, a hard layer of glass, crystal layer on top of the paint, so that when he washes the car in the future, when there's bird poop in the future, when there's UV rays hitting onto the paint in the future, under the hard, harsh sun in Queensland, that it's gonna be protected. And that's exactly what it's done. And then additional functions of repelling and ease of maintenance and ease of wash. I think that's all I have to say, guys. This car has been a very challenging car to do. I don't know if Peter's taken the wheels. We've actually even taken the wheels off, and it's completely coated inside and out as well. So I'll let the car do its justice by you filming the car, and that's it, guys. Just keep it fresh.